Hello, class, and welcome to the first day of operating platforms 22 EW3. This is CS230. I'm going to go over a little bit of Brightspace and then just introduction, and then what kind of expectations for module one. I'll try to make the video short. This will be, just a little bit longer, just as we go through introduction of the of Brightspace. If you haven't been in Brightspace before, it's pretty easy to navigate once you get into the course. You have the course menu. You can scroll to the announcements, and I'll post 2 or 3 announcements this week. And the first one was introduction. This announcement will be this video, along with letting you know that module 1 is available. You also have the participation guides, which is from the university. Next on the course menu, you'll have the learning modules themselves, where you can dive into each learning modules. There's 7 learning modules, or 8 learning modules, I'm sorry, including the final, and then the topics as we go through them. You also have the discussions, so you can go directly to the discussions. There'll also be a link to the discussions through each module. In the discussions, there's a general discussion area where you can post any questions, and fellow students or myself can answer those questions for you. And then there'll be the introductions as well. So make sure that you're following the requirements of each discussion, which includes the initial post and then follow up with 2 posts. Talk about the rubrics as we go on, but we'll get into the rubrics for each assignment. Make sure you're following those and the requirements for each assignment, and then you can scroll down and find your grades. And under the tools section, the main thing I go look for in here is calendar, and you can go in and see the due dates of when assignments are due and what module we're on. You can see the initial discussion is due this Thursday. And so that's the main tool. There's other admin tools in here. My drop down looks a little bit different than yours. Going across the top, you have a link to my NSHU. The Shapiro library is really good for the discussions, and when you're doing research, you do have access to a university library, so make use of that. Also with the library, the librarians are very great in offering helps in writing and grammar and research, so use those. If you have any issues with that IT, there's a service deck, and there's also student tutorial videos that you can go to. So going back, just an introduction is the first discussion. I'm Dr. Ken Belcher. I have to post that discussion there. I did post it as an announcement. But anyway, I'm Dr. Ken Belcher. I've been in IT for over 30 years. I've worked for, I was in the military. I also worked for Verizon in IT. I've kind of worked in the Unix world. This class focuses more on Windows and using that platform, to build an application, a Java application, but we can use Unix. We'll actually discuss some Unix, but, I know Windows is, more frequently used until you get it to a corporate or enterprise environment, and then Linux may be the major player there, but we'll get into the advantages, disadvantages of each. I've been in this infrastructure and production support role, for, like I said, over 30 years. I worked in for Verizon. Now I work for Chico's on an e-commerce application. We have over 80 Linux servers, 20 Windows servers. We have 300. We have about 1,800 virtual machines. That's in the area I am in. The organization, of course, has much more, with our email servers. We use AWS, we use Azure, we have microservices, and, basically, building the infrastructure and maintaining the infrastructure for that system is what I do on a normal basis. And I have worked in the test environment for a few years and a little bit in development, and I do work on a Java application. Let's see, I do ask that you submit your assignments on time. I've also been teaching since 2000. I taught at San Antonio College for 10 years until I moved out of San Antonio, and I started teaching locally in Southwest Florida at Kaiser University, and then online at University of Cumberland and SNHU as well. This is actually my second course here. I live in Southwest Florida, and so we really like the outdoors. We take the boat out, like to go fishing and scuba diving and snorkeling and chase after, various fish and lobster. And that's, how my wife and I'm here with my wife, who is a speech pathologist and works at the hospital. And so that's the introduction. I look forward to reading your introductions and interacting with you throughout the course. If you have any questions, email me or send me a message throughout the course. Let's see, we'll dive into the first module. Don't get overwhelmed with this course. Make sure that you're getting the tasks, performed. If you look at the grade book, there is 1,000 points, but don't get too hung up. There's a lot of information that we go over, but don't get hung up on one thing, especially the Java programming. We'll discuss a little bit more in the second and third week. Anyway, this is operating platforms, and the way this course is designed to get you a deeper understanding of operating platforms and architecture and analysis and evaluation, the characteristics, advantages, and weaknesses of each. So why do we use Windows in situations? Why do we use Unix? Is there a chance that we use Mac OS, etc.? So those are the questions that we're going to go over. Like I said, you can go over the syllabus. You can download the syllabus, and so you can download the syllabus and look at the syllabus. There's a welcome to CS230 with a transcript, video transcript. Also, you can download and watch a video about the course. Second to download. Let's see. We do use Turnitin for for discussion posts and for any papers that you're turning in. So make sure you're doing original work. Like I said, we have the general questions area, and so that's the start here. You can go through all these, and it just gives you an overview of the whole course, and then any general questions that you have. And then module 1, what we want to get down to is the module 1 introduction. Like I said, we're going to identify the structure of various operating systems to satisfy requirements for basic system functionality. Specifically, we're going to be building a Java application and taking a customer and building an app and then choosing an operating platform to put it on. And so through that process, we'll look at the function characteristics of each operating platform. We'll create UML diagrams that depict properties of a relationship between classes of code. The reason why you're doing this, like I said, we're going to use Java or C, and we're going to build, an application again, and then look at the operating platform. So it is operating platform class, but so for the first week, you'll review the course infographic, review module 1 resources, post your initial response to the discussion, set up your technology for the course, take the quiz, module 1 quiz, and complete the module 1 assignment, and then post responses to the discussion board. So the operating platforms UML diagrams, like I said, there's a little introduction just of what a UML diagram is. Hopefully, at this stage in the program, you've done ULM class diagrams before. If not, you can go through these and build them pretty quickly. Like I said, don't get too hung up on the technical difficulties of it. If you go through chapters 1 and 2, hands-on design patterns with Java, it'll explain them to you right away. And then there's also the operating system concepts for chapters 1 and 2, and there's links to those. And then you can always go further into videos, but there's the video on the UML class diagram tutorials and the difference between a software product and a platform. And so that's important because, like I said, this class is really good about building a software product and then picking a platform to use that product on. As developers, we don't look as much at the platform as often, but we do need to take it into consideration. And so through this course, there's going to be, they call it project 1, 2, and 3, but it is the same project. So what you're going to do is you're going to prepare a software design document for your client, which is called the gaming room. And so first you have a client, you got to capture the requirements of what they want. And then in project 2, you're going to continue to prepare the software design document for your client, including evaluation of various operating platforms for deploying their game application. And then project 3 is complete the software design document for your client by including analysis of the systems architecture and recommending the appropriate approach to developing their game application. So like I said, this could be all one project, but it's broken down in 3 phases in week 3, 5, and 7. So the first couple weeks, you'll capture the requirements and build the UML diagrams, and that'll be your first submission. And then you start looking like, where do we want to build this? Start evaluating, where we can build it, and then finally, you'll make your recommendations in week 7. And you can look at the classes, like I said, where you are in the program and the upcoming, classes in your program. That was the infographics, and then the discussion. Like I said, we went over the introductions, technology setup, and so we're going to be using Eclipse and Java in this course. And so, one of the first things that you can do is install Eclipse on your laptop or your home machine, and then also you install the Java code. And so there's a tutorial to do this. We will build this program and run it, so you will be running it in Eclipse. So you want to get these done and get those tested during the first week. So that's just, it's not graded for this week, but as technology setup, go ahead and get that in. Eventually, you're going to create a GitHub if you have not account yet, if you have not created one yet, and then put your code in GitHub. There is a quiz, like I said, and then the assignment is the UML diagrams. And so whenever we're doing an assignment, make sure that you go over the requirements and then also look at the rubric. And so, we're going to build these UML diagrams, like I said, and then you can go in and you can see the rubric, and it tells you exactly what you need to do. That's exactly what I follow when I grade the assignment. And so that is module 1. Sorry, this week is a little bit longer just due to the fact that that we're going over Brightspace. The next modules be a little bit shorter. I think we covered most of the things in the syllabus. We talked about the 2 different texts that you have, and there's links to those to Brightspace. Read chapters 1 and 2 of each text. I check my email every morning. I have my email open pretty much all day. And so if you send me an email, I usually respond, within a couple hours. If not, it's the next morning. So feel free to email me anytime, and I check it on weekends. Every once in a while I travel, so I might be away for email for just a little while, but not too often. And you can see the different projects and the points required. The standard university grading system is what we follow. There's the weekly assignment schedule that you can look, and you can see that there's various assignments and topics that we go over each week. And 8 weeks with the final of the portfolio will be due in week 8. Attendance, just make sure that you're submitting all assignments in time, and you're logging in, and you're collaborating with your peers through the discussion posts. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time. I respond to email, right away. We also have that discussion board. So if you're having any problems with the setup, you can go to the discussion board and ask your fellow students as well to chime in and help. I can give you a caveat with the Eclipse. You probably won't have an issue right away, but Java and Eclipse, sometimes there's some version conflicts that you have when you're installing them. Hopefully you don't have those, but real world experience always will help you out, later on in life if you have to, cross those hurdles. Like I said, I'm Dr. Ken Belcher. I welcome you to the course. Feel free to email me. Really appreciate you if you submit your assignments early rather than waiting until the last day. That way, if we have any issues, we can work them out together. I look forward to working with you this course. Again, email me if you have any questions. Sorry, had a little bit of cold over the holidays. But I look forward to this semester, and we will talk to you soon.